welcome to the Blindfold Chess Podcast.
This week, we are looking at a popular influencer, commentator, international master, and someone who has been in the top 100 rated women in the world for the past 20 years, Tania Sachdev. Tania was born in Delhi, India in 1986. When she was 6, she was introduced to chess by her mother. Quote, I picked up the rules, and 2 or 3 days later I asked my dad for a game and beat him. Since then, my parents have been very supportive, and they made me take up professional training. End quote. In those early years, she was coached by K.C. Joshi. She won her first international tournament at the British Under-8 Chess Championship. In an interview with Red Bull, she commented, quote, I can never forget my first game. I think I was all of 7 years old, and the Under-8 Championship was in Delhi. I was first playing against a Delhi-based boy. Forget about winning. I went to sleep on the board after about half an hour because he was taking so long to make his move. Finally, I woke up and played and won the game. End quote. The day after she won that tournament, she was on the front page of the London Times and the Times of India. From there, her career snowballed. In 1998, she won the Under-12 Indian Girls Championship. That win earned her a spot in the World Under-12 Championship, where she earned a bronze medal. In 2000, she played in the Asian Under-14 Girls Championship and emerged as the winner. 2 years later, at the age of 16, she played in and won the Asian Girls Under-20 Championship, as well as the Asian Junior Girls Championship, where she secured her first women's grandmaster norm. In 2004, she collected her remaining women's grandmaster norms at the Abu Dhabi International GM Tournament, becoming the 8th woman to earn the title. Her rating also earned her a spot in the top 20 rated girls list in the world in October of 2005. In 2006, she competed in the National Women's Premier Championship, which is the national championship of India, and she won the tournament. There isn't a lot of data on that tournament, but in 2007 she repeated the feat by finishing in a 3-way tie for first and winning on tiebreaks in her 28-person field. She also competed in the 2007 Women's Asian Chess Championship, winning the event and earning accolades from the President of India. By the end of 2007, she had broken into the top 50 rated women in the world. Quote, to be honest, I think when I started playing, I just really enjoyed chess. She said, the whole concept of trying to outsmart another person, the aim was always to become one of the best players in the world. The more you win, the more you want to win. There's no satisfaction or just being content after achieving something like that. In fact, it motivates you and inspires you to achieve more, she said in a Red Bull interview. In late 2007 and early 2008, she crossed the 2400 rating barrier, earning her international master title. In 2009, she was one of the 15 recipients and the only chess player to earn the Arjuna Award for Outstanding Performance in Sports and Games, which is the highest sports honor in India. At the end of the year, she played at the Asian Indoor Games, earning a bronze medal for Team India in the Mixed Blitz event and the Mixed Rapid event. In 2009 and 2011, she played for Team India at the Women's World Team Championship, with India finishing in 7th and 4th place respectively. In late 2013, she played in the United Bank of India 40th National Premier Chess Championship, where she finished in a 3-way tie for first but lost on tiebreaks, but she reached a new peak high rating of 2443. A couple of months later, she was asked to be the commentator on the World Chess Championship match between Viswanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen. Then in 2015, she played in the Asian Continental Women's Rapid Championship, taking home the silver medal. The following year, in 2016, she won the Reykjavik Open, performing so well that she picked up her second Grandmaster norm and collected the Best Woman prize. That same year, she played in the Commonwealth Women's Chess Championship, a tournament consisting of countries that previously belonged to the British Empire, like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and India, a total of 56 member states. In that tournament, Tania emerged victorious amongst the 200 participants. Then in 2018, she won that tournament again, and in 2019, she won that tournament again. In the tournament's 20-year history, her 3 championships are tied for the most wins by a single person. Since 2008, she has been playing for Team India on the women's Olympiad team. The team's first major accomplishment came in 2012 when they finished in 4th place. Tania was able to pick up an individual bronze medal for her efforts in that tournament. Then in 2022, she was on the first ever Indian team to win a team medal at the Olympiad, securing bronze. Then at the 45th Olympiad in 2024, both the men's and women's Olympiad teams for India took home gold, marking a first in the country's history. To date, she has played on the Olympiad team 8 different times. She's also competed in the Women's Asian Team Championships since 2003, including 4 team silver medals, 3 individual silver medals, and 1 bronze medal. In 2024, she received the BBC Changemaker of the Year award for her chess commentary and as a player. Then earlier this year in 2026, she was on the commentary team for the Candidates Tournament. And that brings us to today. Throughout this episode, I've referenced a couple of interviews that she has done with Red Bull. She is one of 2 chess players sponsored by the beverage company, the other being Hikaru Nakamura. Outside of chess, she is also a public speaker, content creator, and a model. She was featured in several magazines, including the 100th issue of The Man in India. Her Instagram page has over 250,000 followers, and her YouTube channel has crossed the 100,000 subscriber mark earlier this year. She's an icon for chess, especially in India, where chess is continuing to explode with growth. For our game this week, we are going to go back to the Asian Women Continental Chess Championship of 2012. T2 Pham versus Tania Sachdev. Now, if we're ready, let's begin.
1. Pawn to e4. Pawn to c5. Two, knight f3. Pawn to e6. Three, pawn to d4. Pawn c captures d4. 4. Knight captures d4. Pawn to a6. Five. Pawn to c4.
The move pawn to c4 is characteristic of the Maroczy bind variation of the Sicilian. White is trying to clamp down and gain control of the d5 square with the pawns on e4 and c4 and the queen indirectly covering it, but it comes at the drawback of white surrendering the d4 square, and her light square bishop on f1 is going to struggle to find a good home.
Knight f6. Six. Knight c3. Bishop b4. Seven. Pawn to f3. Queen c7. 8. Pawn to a3. Bishop captures c3 check. Nine. Pawn b captures c3.
We're still in theoretical territory on the opening, but if you were in Black's shoes, where do you want your pieces? Currently, your king is uncastled, your knight on f6 is running into a fortified e4 pawn, and your queenside pieces are not developed. So when you are going into an opening, you usually have an idea of where your pieces want to be. My old coach would say, listen to your pieces and they will tell you where they want to be. So where do your pieces want to be?
Pawn to d6. 10. Bishop e3. Knight b to d7. 11. Rook b1. Castle kingside. 12. Knight b3.
With the knight to b3 move, white is trying to add support to the c5 square. If you were in Black's shoes, what do you do in this position?
Pawn to d5.
This one is a difficult idea to find. This is a very necessary pawn break to open up the center. The idea of the Maroczy is to bind Black's position. Black took her opportunity to break open the middle of the board, and this is assisting in breaking down White's control, but it will also help to open up the e-file with White's king still stuck in the middle of the board.
(13) Pawn e captures d5. Pawn e captures d5. (14) Pawn to c5.
Why would White play pawn to c5 here instead of capturing the pawn that is on d5? The main threat is queen captures on c3 with check, allowing Black to gain quite a bit of momentum.
Rook e8. (15) King f2. Knight e5. (16) Bishop d4.
This is a quick note on positional placement. The bishop that is now on d4 does an excellent job of solidifying White's position. It covers the weak pawn that is on c3, it covers the weak pawn that is on c5, but there's a saying in chess that only one piece can be on a square at a time. I know that's pretty straightforward, but in White's position, the bishop could go to d4, the knight that is on b3 could go to d4, and the queen could go to d4. But by putting the bishop on d4, you're preventing those other two pieces from getting into the game, and the knight on b3 is now boxed out.
Bishop f5.
Compare our position now to what it was a couple of moves ago. White's center control has evaporated. Every black piece is active and in the game. The black king is protected, and white's king is stuck in the middle of the board. Black has achieved everything that she wants to out of the opening and the early middle game.
Rook a1. Rook e6. Knight c1. Rook a2 e8. Bishop e2. Knight e to d7. Pawn to g4. Bishop g6. Pawn to h4. Queen f4.
What is black threatening with the move queen to f4? With the white king on f2, black is threatening knight captures on g4 with check since the pawn on f3 is pinned.
King g1.
White saw this threat, but of all the possibilities she could have done to get out of it, she chose the worst one by playing king to g1. Can you see how Tania punished her opponent?
Queen g3 check. King f1. Rook captures e2. White resigns.
Why did white resign in this position? With the rook capturing on e2, black is threatening checkmate on the g2 square. White's response would be either knight on c1 capturing on e2, which allows the queen to capture on f3 with check. White is then stuck between choosing to move the king to g1 to protect the rook that is on h1, which then allows the black rook to play rook on e8 captures on e2, or after queen captures on f3 check, white can play bishop from d4 moves back to f2, allowing black to play queen captures on h1. Either way, black is in great shape. A multi-time national champion, a 20-plus year teammate to Team India, an advocate for chess growth, a coach, a course writer, a commentator, and a player, Tania is all over the chess landscape and continues to help grow the game so others can enjoy and experience it. So that is all that we have for this week. Tune in next time where we will continue to work on our blindfold